some twin gate action to come through just to keep Na'Vi on the toes, or you know, how do you want to try and play around this draft then from Storm?
Necro forces rotations towards him and survives. That's what you need to do. So you need the Necro to force rotations to him, which will be leaving Dominic and Krillat a little bit undefended, but it doesn't matter. It has to be that way, that your supports around the Necro, he's applying pressure, and he's just making sure that everybody on Na'Vi is focusing on him.
Okay, well, we'll see how this game's going to go, but first, before we get into it, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB.
Prepare for battle.
So, welcome back in as we get started here with the first game. We're going to see if Na'Vi, are they going to go for not quite a clean sweep, as Na'Vi Junior did take a game off them, but 1.299 odds to the 3.1 of Storm. Harry, could you give it any other way? Sure, you know, Na'Vi coming into the favorites. Surely that's everybody's opinion, right?
Yeah, everybody's opinion for sure. I mean, Storm haven't been looking the greatest, and Na'Vi have been looking unstoppable. They only lost that one game in the first week, so ever since then they haven't lost a single game. And really, when you're looking at them, it wasn't close. They were just moving around around the map better. Just if you ask me, I think they could have won those series with using one hand, because they were just in such a better position that they didn't really need to use their spells well. They were just always at the right spot at the right time. The other teams couldn't follow through with the speed at which they were applying pressure.
To be fair, I have a mouse that has 12 side buttons, the 2 main buttons, the middle mouse button, and then the 2 buttons above the middle mouse button. So I can probably play Dota one-handed. Yeah.
I mean, you don't play one-handed? I thought if you're 2K MMR, you can.
Oh, first of all. All right.
I have no idea.
How dare you?
I have no idea how much MMR you have, but you always cry about it, so I just assumed.
Don't cry about it. I don't cry. I just set reasonable expectations and then bitch about the teammates that I have because they don't play like the pros that I make a living watching.
Okay, makes sense. That's completely reasonable, Rob. I'm sorry that I ever mentioned anything. You're a reasonable person, and you deserve all the respect in the world.
So, coming into this first game, moving split my MMR, is there any lanes that we should be keeping an eye on, your kill lane to come out, your high level for either side that might be able to pick up some fairly easy early kills?
High level of pressure on the bottom lane. I would guess if it's just a straight up fight, the kill might happen on top, but there's not gonna be a straight up fight on the top. So I would say bottom lane, if the Darkseer makes a mistake, he can die. And the mid lane, the Emperor could, like from level 2-3, maybe after some overextension die or make a mistake and die to the Heartstopper aura. But none of the lanes really scream death if you look at them.
Well, Daniel's at least going to be able to get the pick on Seneco's career. How do you expect this bottom lane to play? Because you've got the, Darkseers that I hear always like to play, or mostly like to play with like a melee support, a big beefy melee support. You've got the Iron Shell on them, they just run towards the enemy team. But you've got the opposite here. You've got your Rubik that wants to hang back, and meanwhile Seneco is going to be dropping those decays, taking away your health as Malik, and then running to just try and bop you on the nose.
I mean, the Morphling is going to do better in the lane than the Darkseer most of the times anyways. You're picking the Darkseer for the later portions of the game versus the Morphling. So even if you had a melee position 4, it is not 100% certain you would be able to apply the pressure. So I think Malik is going to be struggling compared to the Morph, but he should be able to get at least good levels.
Okay. And meanwhile on the top lane, the Cogs as well, the back shot come out. This Spirit Breaker is only close to level 2, but doesn't have the charge out. So just going to sit, heal up, now go back to the base to TP. Meanwhile, we are going to see the Cliff coming out onto the Undying. The Undying, does he have a TP scroll? He doesn't have the mana for it. Oh, he can't get near this tombstone though. It looks like the zombies already, as well as Brilliant moving over, will be able to guard it out. So the Undying has to pop a Clarity, gets that little bit of extra mana for the TP, but you know, it's always a bit of a pain in the ass when you do get clipped, and you've got to kind of like wait that out.
You know, overall, you've just taken away 100 gold for the Undying. Yes, the supports usually get those DPs by dying, but you still won't have it, and it's kind of annoying. So Seneko probably not too happy about it, especially now because he needs to be waiting for his regen. An Undying without mana in the lane is just a walking creep.
Yeah, and how do you want to play around this now? So with the TP out, are you applying pressure to the Undying? You're trying to force it back, trying to get it to have to go back to base, or do you just still have to watch out for the pressure that Seneko can put on?
He's still gonna be running at you. He just wants to, if he cannot apply pressure by making you weaker, he is just gonna fight you and go through his HP. He did get the healing Lotus, so overall Seneko will be fine, and he does get Mango delivered, so he's just gonna continue to do as much as he can. It's always what the Undying does, and you're just hoping that his mana runs out sooner rather than later, so that you can play the lane somewhat safely. And Malik is trying, but we can see a big difference between him and the Morph. And Danielle, well, there might be a name on that tombstone.
There will be, yeah. Daniel will go down. That's going to be the first blood. Speaking about running out of mana, though, the Medusa on the top lane, he was so lucky to get out there. Completely ran out of mana, and I know that's what our observer was checking, just to see if the Medusa was going to get out alive. The charge comes through underneath the T1 tower now. 1J, he will be able to pick up the counter Shigetsu. So not the greatest of the starts in the world for Navi here.
It's a really bad start. We expected the lanes to go well, though, for Storm, especially this mid lane where Meldrew was keeping up until one point, but now Nicky Cool is just too big of a problem. He is much stronger than Yammer Spirit now when he gets more levels.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to hit that 6 quicker as well, so maybe if these Spirit's not purple, he's going to be losing his head to the old Reaper Scythe. As Nicky Cool continues, he's going to be about 2/3 of a level off getting 6, but Meljul, not even level 5 just yet. He's fallen way behind. He just picks it up now. It does mean those remnants are going to be out a lot later than Nicky Cool's 6. Back on the top lane, looks like Malady trying to do what he can to protect out. Charge actually doesn't connect on Shigetsu. Malady will take most of the damage from that, and Shigetsu, well, he just has to play this one careful. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, though, it looks like we are going to see the duel coming through here. Nicky Cool, we can see that Meljul, he had that flame guard going. It will be taken care of now. Trying to get himself back to a decent amount of health with the bottle, with the tangos. Nicky Cool just sits and rips it away from him. And yeah, in about this creep wave, we are going to be seeing the Reaper Scythe. So Meljul, with only a Furry Fire left in regen, has to be very careful not to play into Nicky Cool here.
He has a flame guard, so that's definitely gonna help. But now he's being charged up, so very clearly under enemy vision. Nicky Cool is these are the types of games where you might even be behind the tier 1 in the mid lane, trying to apply pressure even more.
Yeah, and you can see that, I mean, 1J did stop that charge in. Bottom line, how's it looking? Seneko, okay, 1J is moving himself back over, but he did stop that charge. It would have been underneath the tier 1 tower with no backup, so he didn't feel confident about coming through to this. They do see Malady, though. And well, we're even going to see the rotation in from both the Rubik and the Undying. It looks like it's going to be a chase through the river, so maybe this is where, yeah, charge coming through onto Daniel. Nicky Cool, that a big deny on the room, but it might cost Daniel his life. Do we have enough? Was that Reaper Scythe comes out? Nicky Cool picks up his first kill and his first Reaper Scythe thingy. Permanent 2 HP and 1 mana regen.
Yeah, I think the thingy is the way that they but why is it a Reaper Scythe buff or something? Why is it just a Reaper Scythe? It cannot have the same name as the spell itself. It's not fair.
That's what I was looking for. That's why I said the Reaper Scythe to check what the buff was called. It's just Reaper Scythe. That's why I ended up with the technical term of thingy.
Well, I think that was a pretty good one. Malik is playing with his life here. He will be okay, but you can see that he's really struggling. Okay, and now I don't know if he's going to be okay any longer. He's dead.
No, Koyak gets the kill. Meanwhile, on the top lane, it looks like they're going to try and make a move over to these wizard runes here. The Clockwork's going to try and get in with the battery assault, but he will go down. Daniel picks that one up. Yeah, I've seen Dark Seers do this. You know, you double stack the wave and then you pull it into a neutral camp. As it looks like Marley doesn't go down, trying to get himself over to the barrier, but won't be able to get himself over it in time. 1J does get the kill. But yeah, no, you get the double stack on the